What's up, Math 2? Welcome back to another lesson. It's your Math Sensei here. So today we're going to be talking about triangle similarity, right? Last week we talked about triangle congruence, when two shapes are the exact same size and shape. This time we're going to be talking about similarity, right? So we're really going to be focusing on how we use similarity, how we find it, and also how we can apply it to real-world scenarios. So let's jump into it. Alright, so remember that our basic working definition of similarity was same shape, different size, right? So let's see if we can use that to figure out some problems. So are these two triangles similar, right? Now, just looking at it, we can tell that they look like they're the same shape. Now, one's obviously smaller than the other, but yeah, overall they look the same shape, right? And if we want to be sure, we can use our numbers here, right? I've always said just because they look the same doesn't mean they are, so let's use our numbers, right? So each side length, they kind of match up to each other, so let's look at this 10 and this 5, right? One side is a length of 10, one side is the length of 5. What that means is this smaller triangle is half the size of the other triangle. The 5 is half of the length of the 10. And notice, right, it's the same for the other sides, right? 14 divided by 2 is 7, 12 divided by 2 is 6. Each side is being shrunk by 2. So since each side is being shrunk the same amount, we have similar triangles. What about this one? So we're told two angles are the same, right? We got the red angle pair and the blue angle pair. Those are congruent angles. Now, can we tell that these are similar? Well, it doesn't look like we know what the third angle is, right? But we can actually figure out what these are. So remember, triangle angles, they add up to 180. So this green angle, right, the third angle, that should add up to 180 when you add them with the other two. So green plus blue plus red should equal 180. What that means is, if we rearrange it, green should equal 180 minus blue minus red. Or in other words, the green angle is just the remaining amount, right? It's the leftover from 180, and you take out the other two, the red and the blue angles, right? What about the small one? Well, the small one should also be the same, right? The green angle plus the blue plus the red should equal 180, right? So this green angle should also equal 180 minus blue minus red, right? It's the leftover, the remaining amount after subtracting those red and blue angles, right? Since the red and blue angles are the same in these two equations, that must mean that this green angle and this green angle are actually the same. So what we've just done is we've proven that if two angles of a triangle are the same, the third angle must also be the same. And remember, right? Same shape, different size. Same shape means that they have the same angles, and we figured out that these two triangles have the same angles, so we're good to go. They are similar. So let's go over some formal definitions here. Two shapes are similar when they have the same angles and proportional side lengths. They are scaled versions of each other. We're going to talk a little bit more about proportions in a sec, but right, basically we're saying same angles, different sized side lengths. Corresponding sides. So what corresponding sides mean is two sides that match up with each other, right? So remember in the first problem, I said the 10 and the 5 match up, right? Because I know that 5, when you multiply by 2, it turns into 10. The 10 doesn't match up with 7. It's not 7 times 2 equals 10, right? It's 5 times 2 equals 10. So each side has a matching pair. Alright, those are your corresponding sides. A little bit about proportions, right? Proportions are the ratio of a triangle's side lengths. For example, two side lengths we have in this triangle here, right? We have one side is 10, one side is 14. If you put them in a fraction, 10 over 14, you get a fraction, right? 10 over 14. Do the same thing with the corresponding sides on the other triangle, so 5 over 7. And what you'll notice is that 10 over 14 and 5 over 7 equal the same thing. They're the same fraction, right? If you divide by 2 on both sides here, you'll get 5 over 7 equals 5 over 7. Their proportions between the sides are the same. A ratio, remember, a ratio is just a fraction that shows relative sizes. So let's think back to our personal survey from a while ago, right? It's been a while, but y'all responded, right, to cats or dogs. 89.6% of people said dogs, only 10.4% said cats. So the ratio of dog to cat lovers is around 9 to 1, right? What that means is for every 1 cat person, there are 9 dog people, right? Which is great. I love dogs. And in the other one, we have DM to post ratio, right? I asked if it was your birthday, would you rather have a DM or a post? And that one was pretty even, right? 51% to 48%. If we round those numbers, right? That's about 1 to 1. Right, it is a 1 to 1 ratio. For every 1 person that wants a DM, there is 1 person that wants a post. The last thing that we definitely want to know is scale factor, right? So this one is something that came up when we did dilations in Unit 1. So remember, the amount you multiply by to make a shape bigger or smaller is the scale factor. So for example, I want to make a triangle 2 times bigger. My scale factor is 2. When we did dilations, we made everything 2 times further away. This time, we're just making the sides 2 times longer, right? So the 8 becomes 16, 6 becomes 12, 9 becomes 18. When you're proving similarity, you have 3 postulates, 3 proofs that you can use, right? Remember when we did congruence, there was 4. There was SSS, SAS, AAS, ASA. For similarity, there's only 3. There's SSS, SAS, and AA. What they mean is a little bit different. In congruence, when I said SSS, I meant each corresponding side equals the same number. But here, right, 10 does not equal 15, 14 does not equal 7, 12 does not equal 6. So how do we use SSS? What we want to show, do the corresponding sides have the same scale factor, right? So it's not the same number, it's the same scale factor. So I can find it like this. 10 divided by 5, right, equals 2. In other words, if I want to go from 5 to 10, I need to multiply it by 2. 14 over 7, also 2. 12 over 6, also 2. Right, so now we know all 3 sides are multiplied by 2. That means we have similar triangles. SSS. What about SAS? Well, it's similar, right? We have 2 sides. We got to figure out that they are the same scale factor. And then we have A, angle. Remember, similar triangles means they have the same angles. So we know that this angle should be the same as this angle, right? We're not multiplying it by 2. Remember, the angles you don't multiply. They stay the exact same. So if this were like 70 degrees, right, this would also be 70 degrees. They're the same. All right, so SAS. We got SAS. Last one is AA. So remember, right, when we did this problem, I originally started out with just the red and the blue. But what we figured out is that when you have only 2 angles, you can still prove that they're similar because you know that the third angle should also be matching, right? It's just the remainder after you subtract the other 2 angles from 180. With just 2 angles, you can also prove similarity. Alright, so go ahead and take a moment, scrub back through the video, make sure you have notes on all this stuff, right? Definitions, proofs, all that good stuff, alright? I'll give you all a minute. You can pause the video. Alright, so let's go on to a problem, right? So let's think about how do we prove that these are similar? Well, we have a side and an angle and a side. Let's see if SAS works, right? So 15, 14, let's assume those are corresponding sides. 21 and 10, let's assume those are corresponding sides, right? And let's try it out. So 15 over 14 equals 1.07-ish. 21 over 10 equals 2.1. And we have a problem, right? The 1.07 and the 2.1 are different scale factors. They are not the same. What that means is, if I took this triangle and I tried like matching it up, like reflecting it like this, matching it up here, right? I match this 14 with the 15 and the 10 with the 21, then they don't look the same, right? The ABC is way wider than what this is. So we have a problem, right? That it's not scaled the same way, clearly, right? That 10 is scaled twice as long somehow, right? This is extending twice as long, but this is only extending by a little bit. So they're not similar, right? Or are they? Well, let's rewind here and see what we can come up with. So the problem is how I match them, right? Originally I matched it 15 to 14 and 21 to 10. But what if I did it the other way? What if I did 15 and 10 and 21 and 14? So in other words, if I'm drawing this, right? What if I took this triangle and instead of reflecting it, what if I just turned it like this, right? Now it's looking more like it, right? Now we got a triangle that actually looks like it's similar. Alright, so let's use some numbers and figure it out. So 15 over 10 this time, right? Because we're matching it a different way. 15 over 10 is equal to 3 over 2, which is equal to 1.5, right? 21 over 14, if you divide both sides by 7, you'll get 3 over 2, which equals 1.5, right? Now we have both sides. The corresponding sides are scaled by the same factor, 1.5. We have, excuse me, the angle, 75 degrees, 75 degrees. So we have SAS. So to review, the key skill is to make sure you're checking your matches, right? Checking your corresponding sides. So originally 15 and 14 were not matching, which is why it gave me different scale factors. But when I did 15 and 10, it did work, right? Just keep that in mind, right? You want to try different combinations. Just because one doesn't work, doesn't mean we want to say it's wrong, right? Another big thing, right? Just because these triangles don't look the same doesn't mean they aren't the same. Notice when I turned it, it actually turned into the right shape. So keep that in mind, right, as you're doing these similarity problems. Your exit ticket for today's lesson is gonna have you apply your scale factor to solve for different side lengths. So remember, for this problem, we just said that the scale factor is 1.5, or you would take 13 and the scale factor 1.5 and solve for that missing side length, right? Because those are the matching ones. So that's how you're gonna be doing that. And you have a couple real world examples as well, right? And you can actually do this in the real world, like it does work. Let's look at this problem, right? You want to find the height of a lamppost without actually climbing up and like measuring it. So what do? Well, we say, look at this person, right? This person is 5.25 feet, right? Or 5 feet 3 inches. He casts a shadow that is 6 feet, okay? 6 feet. At the same time of day, a lamppost casts an 18-foot shadow. What is the height of the lamppost? So what we're essentially trying to do is say, okay, the sun is at the same position in the sky, right? Which means the angle of these shadows should be the same, meaning these are similar triangles, okay? Right here. All right, and if they're similar triangles, that means that we can figure out a scale factor between these two triangles to then solve for the height of the lamppost. So let's look at the shadows, right? We don't know the height of this and we know the height of the person, but we do have the shadow lengths for each thing. So if I did 18 divided by 3, right? I'm trying to figure out the scale factor from the shadow of the lamppost and the shadow of the person. Sorry, 18 divided by 6. I would get a scale factor of 3. Now, let's rephrase that in words for a second, right? So, if the lamppost shadow is 3 times bigger than the person's shadow, forgive the misspellings, then the height of the lamppost should be 3 times taller than the height of the person. Let's really think about that, right? If I see a shadow of something else, it's 3 times bigger than my shadow. I will assume that that thing is also 3 times taller than me. Let's actually apply that, right? So we figured out that between 18 and 6, the scale factor is 3. Between my height and the lamppost height, I gotta take my height and multiply it by 3. And that would give me my lamppost height. So that's a very easy way of applying similar triangles to solve for stuff that normally would take a little bit more effort to do, right? Like, I don't got a ladder to climb up this lamppost, but if I want to measure it real quick, I can use my shadows. So there's going to be a few problems like that on your exit ticket. The last problem is from one of my favorite animes, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You're going to be using something that one of the characters does to figure out the distance between him and someone else, right? Using similar triangles. So have fun with that problem as well. And that will be it for today's lesson, all right? So make sure you are working on all of your exit tickets, all of your Unit 2 exit tickets, right? And more importantly, make sure you're studying for all your exams, right? Remember, math is on Friday, 8:15 a.m. So please make sure you study up for all your other exams first, right? Do what's priority right now. This assignment is going to be posted along with a review problem set that you can work on to help you study for math. All right, we're going to be talking a little bit more about similarity, and then the rest of the week will be review for this upcoming quarter test. If you have any questions about Unit 2, about Unit 1, about your grades, about doing your assignment, any questions at all, please reach out to me via email or phone or text. I know this is a very busy time for everyone, but you really want to stay on top of your stuff for this first quarter virtual learning, and I will work with you all the way through the end of the quarter to make sure that your grades are where you want them to be. So please reach out to me, all right? All right, and that will be it. So thanks for watching this video, and good luck with your lesson.